All right, so let's move on to another big trailer that just dropped, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer.
Another one.
Another one, yeah. And this is the Miles Morales animated Spider-Man film that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are doing. And this looks, I mean, animation-wise, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about the animation, but it's not as crisp as I thought it would. What I imagined it was gonna be. And I mean, I think overall, I think it looks decent, but I was expecting something a little bit sharper for me. But I do like the fact that they are doing a Miles Morales Spider-Man, that they are exploring that, and the cast, talent-wise, is stacked. Like I said, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they're the big producers behind this. Directing it is Peter Ramsey and Rodney Rothman. They're the big directors, and also a guy named Bob Perschetti. Don't know who that is. But Peter Ramsey, he did a movie, Rise of the Guardians. If anybody's ever seen that, that's like that holiday team-up movie. Okay, that was.
I have actually.
Yeah, that was
actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was decent. It was pretty good. And then you have Rodney Smith, who's worked on scripts for 22 Jump Street. He was a writer for that film. Nothing really big. He was a producer on some other films, like Get Him to the Greek and stuff like that. But he hasn't really. I think this is he hasn't really done anything that big. And this movie's Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse is coming out December 14th, 2018. So that's a long ways to wait. And it seems like Disney's competing with itself, because that's when another Star Wars movie is going to drop, because that's when probably Han Solo.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Han Solo is going to drop around that time. So it seems like they just dominating. They're so popular, they're competing with themselves now. When Starbucks open up next to each other, they're just so popular. It's they're trying to run themselves out of business.
People are gonna forget about this movie, man. It's people. When the trailer came out, I kept getting asked, oh, is it going straight to DVD or is it going to theaters?
Right.
It's I had to stress the fact that it's going to theaters, but I will say this much: I'm happy to have this so much, because I've always wanted the Miles Morales ever since I found out about him, but. I don't know anything about the comics. I can't say I'm a diehard fan or anything like that. I'll just be honest. I want a Black Spider-Man.
Right.
It's everybody wants Peter Parker, and I love Peter Parker. I grew up with him. He's from the 90s cartoon. But when I found out that there was a Black Spider-Man out there, I'm yeah, it sounds pretty good. I like this. That represents me more. I want this in the world.
Yeah. You can see,
even though he's biracial, but still.
Yeah, he's biracial. He's half black and half Hispanic.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see, he's got the hoodie on.
He's got the fucking Nikes on, man. J's on his feet.
Yeah, he's got the Jordan 1s on. Gotta make sure you get wearing them Jordans, boy.
What bureau is he from? Is he from Brooklyn? What?
I mean, hey, listen, man. Which it should be more accurate. He should be wearing Timbs. He is. New York. That's real.
Got a point.
If they really wanted to be more accurate, he should be wearing Timbs. Actually. That would have been really awesome to see Spider-Man wearing Timbs and a New York Yankees hat. That's
New York Yankees hat.
That's accuracy right there. And you have Shameik Moore. He's playing Miles Morales. People know him. He was in Dope. He was the lead character in that. He was also in The Get Down.
That is, man, Dope is one of my favorite movies. I don't want to say of all time, but I love that movie.
Yeah, so he was the main guy in that.
He was a great actor in that.
Mahershala Ali, who we just talked about with Alita Battle Angel, he's gonna be Miles' uncle, Aaron Davis. So the Prowler.
They should have got Donald Glover. I don't know.
Because Donald Glover was in the Spider-Man Homecoming. He was the Prowler. He was Aaron Davis.
They should have kept that continuity, in my opinion.
Yeah, they probably should have. Yeah.
But then some people are saying this is because they're going to go into alternate dimensions, so this might be a whole separate thing on its own, right?
Yeah, because you see at the end of the trailer, you see him talking to, I would assume Peter Parker Spider-Man about, wait, there's more out there. So does that mean that, there's alternate, they're going to do the whole alternate dimensions type Spider-Man with Spider-Man 2099?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of like the stop motioniness of the series.
Same. Really? It reminds me of Anomalisa.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of Anomalisa. I don't know if you guys would agree. Not so much.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've always been a fan of stop motion. Anyways, there's something about the janky movements that I almost appreciate a little bit more because human work goes into it. So I think it's all right. I hope it's not a speed framing problem, and that's a purposeful choice.
Mm-hmm.
I did not
Because
even think about
sometimes
that.
you can tell it's smoother sometimes than others.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're kind of going for, but I definitely like the style.
Because it's
It's
computer,
definitely unique.
yeah, computer animated animation style, which I'm not always really a big fan of the computer animation style. I like more traditional, like 2D looking stuff. Like I like
They
Young Justice. Like that animation to me is like gorgeous animation. Like I like kind of stuff like that.
but this is ambitious.
Mm-hmm. It is a shame that we don't get more 2D stuff anymore. Or I shouldn't say that. It's more 2D stuff that doesn't mind not being just for kids.
Okay, I can see that. And
Where like Young Justice, that was clearly for teens.
yeah, it was. I'll admit
I
that.
mean, younger kids could watch it, sure, to be sure, because they had to, but that was clearly far more mature than even Teen Titans that had come before it.
Yeah. And the old Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go.
Yes, no, I didn't say Teen Titans Go. I said Teen Titans.
Have to be clear now. I think they're going to do a marathon of Teen Titans Go on Christmas.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I know I'm not gonna be watching on TV Christmas.
Yeah, shoot me in the head.
And you see in the beginning of the trailer that he's chasing the Prowler. Like you see him chasing it, like at the very beginning on the motorcycle. You see him there. I don't know if this is supposed to connect to the MCU. I don't believe it is supposed to. Like I think it's supposed to be their own like little separate thing that they're doing. Also, I mean, a lot of people are saying like, yeah, this is really cool. You know, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, we get to see him, even if it is animated. It's still cool to see him on the big screen. I really want to see this, but Sony. Every compliment they give it is like, well, but Sony. They're known to kind of mess up, and this is kind of them on their own thing. I mean, are you concerned by the fact that Sony, you know, they are doing this and the track record they have of messing stuff up, especially Spider-Man, you know, without the involvement of the MCU?
Yeah, it's still with Marvel, right?
Yeah, it's still with, but I don't know how heavy an involvement like the MCU is actually involved in this film. You know, I think it's mostly just like a Sony thing that they're doing with them. I mean, does that raise any concerns with anybody? Because like with Spider-Man: Homecoming, we knew that MCU had a big involvement.
Yeah,
we knew that.
Almost their baby, basically.
Yeah. So with this one, I don't think they have the same involvement with this as they did with Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I'll say for me personally that with Marvel's involvement, that may actually be a bad thing when it comes to the animation, because somebody brought up to my attention that DC does a whole lot better with animated hero movies.
Not recently. Like they've kind of like Killing Joke was a failure. They also did a Batman and Harley Quinn movie that got mixed. Reviews.
And yeah, those two were horrible in my opinion. I haven't watched them, but I wouldn't want to watch them.
No.
I'm sorry.
I would say, yeah, Harley Quinn is mixed, and the Killing Joke is just not as good as it should have been, and even then, it does feel like it's an older comic being brought back. So you're kind of shrugging, like, I don't know. We've seen worse things at this point since then.
Yeah. I just know that DC has done the Teen Titan, man, what are the names of them? The Teen Titan movies?
Well, they did Teen Titans Judas Contract. They did Batman Assault on Arkham, which was really good. So they've done Dark Knight Returns. They adapted that into an animated film. That was really good. And Batman Under the Red Hood. That was also really good. I mean, they mostly do Batman, Superman, Justice League stories. That's what they did. And maybe they'll throw in like Green Lantern. They did a movie about him. That was good. Wonder Woman. They did a movie about her. That was good. They were decent. They were all right.
And Batman Ninja is coming up.
Yeah, Batman Ninja, the anime Batman movie. I don't know if I'm going to see that or not. I'm still undecided.
I doubt I will personally, just because I'm anti like 3D anime.
Okay. So would you say hype is? I mean, you're pretty hyped for this. Like you say, expectations is pretty good for this for you.
It's higher than Jurassic World for me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I can jump on that. Yeah. I mean, Jurassic. Yeah, definitely. I'm more hyped for this than Jurassic World. Yeah.
It's I love the style. Like I think I might come like when I watch it because I'm gonna watch it in theaters. I feel like I'm gonna come out there like, man, they did a great style, but the movie was just okay, probably. Like I don't know, it's a lot to fill in here, so I can't argue. I mean, can't say anything yet.
Okay. I mean, do you think it's bad business practice for Disney to be like releasing Spider-Man December 14th when they know
Yes,
they have,
very, because it's gonna be forgotten. Like I said, people thought that it was gonna come to DVD. I thought it was gonna come to DVD until I saw the end where it says in theaters this day.
I wonder how many theaters they are gonna put it in. I wonder if
Probably limited.
yeah, probably limited.
On Christmas Day. Wait, what?
You said Christmas? No, I said December 14th is when it's coming out.
No, it says in theaters Christmas 2018
Oh, okay. Well, something's lying to me because I'm looking at it. Yeah, where you reading that at?
on the trailer.
Ah, okay.
I'm very confused right now.
Huh.
Did they release the trailer and change the date? Because
Uh,
that's possible, actually.
Oh, maybe because I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
Darn you, Wikipedia!
Yeah.
I would not give you $3.
Yeah. So it says at the end in theaters Christmas 2018. Huh. So yeah, maybe it is coming out Christmas 2018. Maybe it is. Maybe they changed it. They decided to release it during that time. But that's even more closer to when the Star Wars kind of movie kind of still comes out.
Okay.
I mean, do you think like if you had the choice to go see this like Spider-Man or Han Solo, I mean, would you go see both or would you only go see one? Because I know like going to the movies is kind of limited for you. So if you had to spend your dollar, I mean, which one would you rather spend it on?
Spider-Man or what?
Spider-Man or the Han Solo film?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay. Yeah.
I don't give a crap about the Solo movie.
Yeah, he's
Now
got a
that,
point.
I mean, now that the Lego guys are no longer involved, and they after doing like 95% of the film, and Ron Howard has taken over. Oh, all originality is gone. So whatever it would have been, it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
So, and they're not gonna show a 95% cut of the original film. It's probably all scrapped.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would rather watch Spider-Man with his janky animation than I would that, or janky, and I put in quotes, more stop motion-esque.
Okay.
Quotes. At least that looks interesting and kind of beautiful in some shots, and looks varied. It's piqued my interest and it looks a little different. Han Solo, I don't need to know where Han Solo came from.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, Miles Morales, he hasn't really gotten the time to shine. Really, he was just barely mentioned in the Spider-Man movie in Homecoming.
Yeah.
So I think it would be neat to see like a really younger, or this is a older Miles Morales later on in the MCU, or even just an alternate Miles Morales, and you could have an anthology where it's Miles Morales meets all these different versions of Spider-Man, which do exist in the comics, like the Pig Spider-Man, Spider-Ham, or like all the joke ones, or the Indian Spider-Man, or the Japanese Spider-Man, which was used as like a spider demon that cursed him to have certain abilities. Like you can go really wild on it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see that.
Yeah.
And if it becomes like a mainstay series, more power to it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Marvel's got the money. They can blow it off for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I mean, even though I'm not a huge fan of the animation, I think it does have somewhat of personality. Like you see in the beginning of it, how it has that like kind of comic paneling with the whole bam and boom going into it, like that kind of style. And then you also hear the music playing. I don't know if that's going to be incorporated into the film because you hear Vince Staples playing.
Morning I woke up in the fortress of distortion. I'm at war with my emotions.
You know, urban, black guy gotta have that hip hop in there. I don't know if that's gonna be in there, but for it to have this distinctive, nice kind of style.
Yeah, like kind of like an '80s vibrant pink, blue, and red or whatever.
Yeah, because you see lots of hues of red, black, that kind of like his costume.
Yeah, how they separate the colors. There's a name for it, and I wish I was into graphic design to even understand what it was.
Okay, like when they separate the colors.
Yeah, it's like you know how you look through a prism and you'll see like the red, blue, and green.
Oh, okay.
They're doing that with like a more neon style, '80s style, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're getting there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to this definitely. I think, like I said, I'm definitely looking more forward to this than Jurassic World. I think I'm definitely for this and all the talent behind it. is pretty good. I don't know if Prowl is supposed to be the main villain because like Liev Schreiber's been cast and he's in an undefined role. So I don't know whether Liev Schreiber's supposed to. I don't know what role he's supposed to play, but I mean, it'd be quite something different than we've normally seen from other different Spider-Man movies, which I think is nice.
Definitely. Like, they're going to do a whole story here and then add an alternate dimension because it seems like Miles, like Peter has just died, right?
I don't know.
He went to the grave.
We talking about in the comics? Or you talking about
in the movie? Like, I don't know how recent it will be, but he just went to the grave. It's like Peter's dead, so he's been Spider-Man either for a little while or for a long while. And then he gets to see the alternate dimension, Peter Parker, I should say. But yeah, I think they're going to do everything. They're going to do the way he turns into the Spider-Man, the way he finds out that Prowler is his uncle. Then they're going to introduce the villain, which will be some weird guy. And then they're going to show the alternate dimension stuff where they team up to fight against that villain because it's too strong.
That'd be pretty cool if they do that. Yeah,
I'd love to see it. Like, if they do that one by one, man, it might be a full price for me.
Yeah. Hello, thanks for checking out our content. If you liked it, let us know, and if you didn't, let us know that as well. If you want to see more content, we post every Saturday on SoundCloud and YouTube at The Afternoon Tune. You can also find us through various social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all one word at The Afternoon Tune. And if you don't deal with any of that social media stuff, you can also find us through our email at theafternoontune@gmail.com. And don't forget to always